Hello friends, welcome back to Let's Do It Accountancy.
In our last session, we started with capital structure ratios and studied the first one, that is the equity ratio. Today we shall analyze three more capital structure ratios, that is debt to capital ratio, debt to equity ratio and debt to total assets ratio.
And if you are new to this channel, do subscribe and press the bell icon to get all the updates regarding further uploads. Also, you can press the join button to become our Prime member where you can get many benefits with online courses at very minimum prices. So do check that out and join us now. Do visit our website www.letsdo.com to see our online courses at very affordable prices.
Let's begin with the debt to capital ratio, which is a leverage ratio. That compares a company's total obligation to its capital. It figures out the proportion of a company's debt into the total capital. This helps investors and creditors to analyze the financial solvency of the company and to judge the risk of investing or financing the company. Debt to capital ratio is calculated by dividing total debt by the sum of total debt and shareholders' equity. Now there is a catch for you. The term debt only includes all the interest-bearing liabilities of the company, which could be either long-term or short-term. However, most of the interest-bearing liabilities are long-term as they involve more risk to lenders rather than the short-term ones. Also, the shareholders' equity refers to sum of equity and preference share capital and retained earning, that is, reserves and surplus of the company. Generally, high ratio means the company is highly leveraged by way of debt financing, that is, the company is extensively using its debt to finance its operation, and a low ratio means company uses financing by ways other than debt, that is, the company is raising its funds through current revenue and shareholders. A company must have a healthy proportion of debt and equity for financing their business operation as an entity. That is, too debt-ridden would seem risky for creditors and investors. Secondly, let's look at debt to equity ratio. This ratio compares the company's debt to its equity and shows the extent to which equity can cover the total obligations of the company in the event of downturn. Therefore, it also determines the capital structure of the company, indicating the proportion of debt fund in relation to the equity. Debt to equity ratio is calculated by dividing total debt by shareholders' equity. The total debt includes both long-term and short-term debt or interest-bearing liabilities as mentioned in the previous ratio formula. And shareholders' equity would also be same as mentioned earlier, that is total of equity and preference share capital and reserves and surplus. The ratio of 1 would indicate that debt funds are equivalent to equity funds. A higher ratio indicates highly leveraged company in terms of debt funding, and it would mean a less protection for lenders, whereas lower ratio indicates lesser leverage and more of equity funding in the capital structure, which indicates wider safety cushion for them. Here do note that the ideal ratio varies for every industry. Similarly, the last ratio for today's session is debt to total asset ratio. It compares the total debt of the company to the total assets owned by it. It measures the amount of assets funded by outside liabilities. Like the previous two ratios, this one also analyzes the financial solvency of the company to make sure investors and creditors are well aware of the company's fundamentals before making any move on investment or financing. It is calculated by dividing the total debt by total assets. Sometimes instead of debt, total liabilities are considered, which shows a fair picture from creditors or vendors' perspectives. And total assets will include all the assets held by the company, that is current and non-current both. However, analysts may choose to include or exclude particular class of asset as per their discretion. Investors use this ratio to evaluate whether company has enough asset to meet its current debt obligation. It is desirable for a company to have a higher asset than debts, which will be indicated by a lower ratio. A higher ratio would indicate higher debt and so the higher risk in extending loans to the company. Let's have a look at this balance sheet and see how these ratios work in practice. From the given liabilities, we can easily calculate the total debt and shareholders' equity as required. Equity share capital and preference share capital together with reserves and surplus gives the total shareholders funds of 8 lakhs. The total debt will include the long-term debt of 5 lakh made of debentures and bank loan as well as the short-term loan of 1,50,000. As it is an interest-bearing obligation, this gives total debt of 6,50,000. Now let's start calculating the ratios. Beginning with debt to capital ratio, which is total debt divided by total debt plus shareholders equity or net worth, that is 6,50,000 divided by 6,50,000 plus 8 lakhs, that is 14,50,000, which gives 0.45 times or 45% of leverage. This means 45% of total capital is represented by debt of the company. Next one is debt to equity ratio, which is total debt divided by shareholders equity, that is 6,50,000 divided by 8 lakhs, that is 0.81 times or 81% of leverage. This indicates that compared to equity proportion of debt fund is 0.81 times. And the last one is debt to total asset ratio, that is total debt divided by total assets, which is 6,50,000 divided by 17,25,000. That gives us 0.38 times or 38% of leverage. This shows that the 38% of the total assets are funded by the debt. As you must have noticed, all these ratios we've learned today have the same numerator in the formula, that is total debt. This is because all leverage ratio measures debt owed in terms of various other factors like capital, equity and assets. A high leverage company will have higher debt. It is important for a company to find suitable balance between debt and equity to optimize profit and be financially sound. So friends, that was all for this session. We have 2 more capital structure ratios to learn in the next video, that is capital gearing ratio and proprietary ratio. So stay tuned with us.
If you liked our session, do like, share and comment, and yes, don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get the updates for all our upcoming videos. Do visit our website www.letsdo.com to see our online courses at very affordable prices. So see you in the next session. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.